page. It's over 600 fans now. It's only been 5 days. And it brought all of you here. It started to get the word out, so I'm glad for that. I want to start out by pointing two important components of this movement. It centers around two things. One is this is about economic injustice. We have a lot of things wrong with our society. There's a lot of social injustice, but that does not exist in a vacuum. It also, this movement is centered on economic injustice, and that's why the protesters are on Wall Street. And that's kind of the one cause that we are all here to get behind. The second component of this movement is that it is a nonviolent, peaceful resistance movement. Can we get some applause for that? Yeah! So I want to talk about why we're here for news cameras and also for people who might not be keeping up with the news. We have a serious problem with economic inequality and economic injustice in this nation. The top 1% control 43% of financial wealth. The bottom 80% controls just 7% of financial wealth. That means that out of 100 people, one person gets almost half the wealth, and 80 people share 1/6 or just 16% of what that one person has. That's not justice. That's not fair. Is that right? You guys agree?
Right. Unacceptable.
This data, by the way, only goes through 2007, okay?
Oh my.
And the economic recession has hit the middle class.
It never ended.
The middle class is harder than it has hit the top 1%. We all know that.
They barely even noticed.
We'll have champagne.
Champagne, what's that?
Gas got expensive.
Let's talk about the Bush tax cuts, okay? They're a huge contributor to our deficit, we know that. But I was surprised to know, I just found this out a few weeks ago. The Bush tax cuts resulted, on average, we're talking about on average, for people who earn about $50,000 a year, which is the average income in America, the Bush tax cuts, I think it might be a little bit less, like that, the average income might be a little bit less than that. But anyway, for incomes around $50,000 in America, the Bush tax cuts resulted in a 2%, average of 2% income tax credit for the middle class, while the Bush tax cuts resulted in an average 10% income tax credit for the top 1%. Last year in 2010, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled in a case called Citizens United. I think you know what that is. The corporations are defined as people with the same rights as you and me.
Let's see Texas execute one.
They're people liking their own one.
I know they are not people, which includes the so-called right to spend unlimited money influencing elections, which is not right.
Without disclosing. Right.
Yeah, disclosing how much they're donating, that's right.
Sneaky.
By a politician.
Which means we have a serious problem with the majority, I wouldn't say the majority, but let's say like the outcome, the output of what our elected representatives are doing are not representing the bottom 90%, 99%. They're representing the interest of the top 1%.
Right.
Because that's who's financing their campaigns, and that's who they're representing. We've seen lots of evidence of this lately. For example, and if you need any citations for this data, I've been doing a lot of research and a lot of blogging on this topic. I blog for Liberal Lamp. My blog is liberallampost.com. I also write for addictinginfo.org. So I do a lot of research on this. All of this is properly cited, so email me at occupyraleigh@gmail.com if you need the citations. And